Amandla. 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 Down with AfriForum, down. Down with the racist management, down. Down with racism, down. Thank you very much, comrades. Thank you very much, Comrade Chairperson. Let me take this opportunity to also greet the leadership of the EFF from the Central Command Team, which is here, the leadership of the province, the leadership of the region, and the leadership of the Student Command, UP branch, the leadership of the Student Command nationally led by the President, leaders who are here today, and all of you, the students who are looking into the future and highly committed to the transformation agenda that this EFF represent the future will be here to stay. So the sooner they make peace with that, the better. Represent oppression, and they want to project themselves as victims, whereas they are the ones who are attacking us. Comrades, it is here at this university where those who are in the management collaborated with the racist and right-wing formations such as AfriForum to reverse your democratic victory in SRC election last year. Yet they portray the EFF as an undemocratic organization, but themselves will never accept a democratic will of the students. They framed you and wanted to create an impression that you are racist when they were racist themselves. They felt so inferior that when they could not defeat you democratically, they resorted to smear campaign to undermine the democratic will of the students. Fellow fighters, after all of this attempt to deny you the rightful victory you attained last year, you were not discouraged, and you worked harder for students, and you once again emerged victorious, and no one could deny you your victory. I am here, therefore, to honor you, because you represent the fighting spirit that we need to achieve economic freedom in our lifetime, and to achieve the defeat of racism and white supremacy. I'm here to honor you, comrades and students of the University of Pretoria, because you have chosen to believe in the EFF, not based on what racists say about us, but based on what you know this revolutionary movement to represent. The EFF represents anti-racism. The EFF represents anti-colonialism. And the EFF represents justice and equality. You did not allow those who seek to undermine what it means to be black to define to you what this movement stands for. And for that, we applaud you. Comrades, there are many important things that we must reflect on here today, because it is our duty as revolutionaries to ensure that we do not allow ourselves and the ideas of our opposition to mischaracterize us. We must make sure that we, at all material times, we tell our story and we speak for ourselves. No one must choose heroes for us. We know our heroes. No one must define us, because we can define ourselves. The right-wing organization use fear to fundraise. They use fear to secure votes, and they manipulate racists because racism relies on ignorance, desperation, and disunity. And the EFF has for too long been used as a weapon by racists to gather support in this country. When they want to engage in sort of khafar, they just mention the EFF or the name Malema. Then white people get scared, because that's what white supremacists are. They are gullible and they get easily intimidated because they want to protect privilege. Fighters, we must never be ashamed of being black. We must always be black and be proud. And we must always fight against Africanerism. and against white supremacy. We must not allow those who stole our land and our wealth to want to project themselves as our heroes. We must confront racism at all material times. This university celebrates racism. It is the center of racism. The white supremacists find comfort in this university. And we must tell them that this place will never be a home of Africans. It will be a home of isiZulu, Sepedi, Ndebele, Setsonga, Venda, and all official languages. If they want Africans in this university, they must know that all languages must be represented in this university. We want the children of Soshanguve, of Mamelodi, of Hammanskraal, of Mabopane. We want them, when they look at this university, they must see themselves. The children of Soshanguve in Jugulayini, they must know that their future is in this university. Comrades, we must never rely on white liberals to manage us, because white liberals always want to create an impression that they are with us, whereas they are benefiting both sides. They keep us in long meetings debating how our pain can be dealt with, and after those long meetings, they resort back to white privilege. We must never allow them to derail our revolution. We must fight against everyone who want to derail our revolution. In this city of Pretoria, that's where they killed Steve Biko. Steve Biko died here. And if we want to make Steve Biko proud, we must represent exactly what Steve Biko stood for. It is for this reason that Steve Biko developed the theory of black consciousness and defined it as an attempt to infuse the black community with a newfound pride in themselves, their efforts, their value system, their culture, their religion, and their outlook on life. It was Steve Biko who was trying to make us to be proud of who we are and never be ashamed of who we are. We must never want to be like white people. We must just be ourselves, and the rest will follow. Comrades, racism is an evil system, and that evil system does not represent what the future looks like. There is no way there will be non-racial society in this country if white supremacists see themselves as superior. The only way to achieve the non-racial society is when the white Afrikaners and white supremacists accept that they are an equal nation to all of us. For as long as they project themselves as superior and want to preach non-racialism, they must know in reality that will never be achieved. How can we be non-racial if we see ourselves as superior and see others as inferior? By virtue of having a divided nation on the basis of race, you must know we will never achieve non-racialism. They are fighting against the EFF because the EFF represents the truth. The only crime the EFF committed in this country was to tell the truth to power and never be scared to confront white racism. We are the only people who engage white people head on. And that's why they've taken their time to want to destroy the only weapon black people have, which is the EFF. So we must make sure that we don't succumb to white supremacy. The students of UP, you are the ones who have led the way, and you have done so for the past 3 years. And everybody else is going to learn from you that you can elect the EFF and still live a beautiful life. Because the EFF is the only organization which will fight for the black nation. Comrades, racism is violence. And they must never project you as being violent because the racists are violent themselves. There is no way you can be racist and not be violent. For as long as your grandfathers and great-grandfathers benefited from the land, the stolen minerals of this country, you must know that you represent violence. You cannot represent peace while you are in possession of stolen goods. You must return the stolen goods if you represent good. I want to commend you for having achieved a lot in this university, especially during the Feast Must Fall. It was you who fought for the insourcing of cleaners and security guards. And we are proud that you have appreciated that the struggle of the workers is the struggle of the students. You cannot separate the struggles of the workers from the struggles of the students. By taking up that challenge, you championed the future, and we are happy that these workers today are receiving a reasonable salaries. But I want to challenge you, the student command, to lead a campaign in this university and follow in the footsteps of University of Cape Town and University of Western Cape by making sure that this institution cut all the relationship they have, especially academic and research ties with Israel. We don't want anything that has got to do with Israel. How do you relate to people who commit genocide against Palestinians? People who are bombing hospitals.
With people who are bombing hospitals. We cannot relate with people who are killing orphans. We cannot relate with people who are destroying schools and destroying old museums of Palestine. While Iran, Lebanon and Syria are responding, they are called terrorists. There is nothing terrorism about that. That is a self-defense. When people have occupied your land, you have a duty to fight to reclaim your land. There is no crime the people of Palestine have committed. And therefore, this university, by having any ties with Israel, it means it supports the killing of children and women. Comrades, we led in Parliament a motion that the Israeli embassy must be closed. And Parliament accepted that motion of the EFF. The only problem we have is with the president who's scared of white people, because he must simply implement that resolution and remove the Israel embassy in Pretoria. We cannot share a territory with murderers. Those people are killers and they don't respect humanity, and we must never share a territory with them. Fighters, we must make sure that at the right time we must rename this university, because the name of this university does not represent who we are. Who is Pretoria? Why should we be called Pretoria? This university cannot be University of Pretoria. You are found in Tswane. You can only be a University of Tswane, not University of Pretoria. Why? Some of you go around very proud that you are attending school at Tekis. But many of you don't know where Tekis comes from. Tekis comes from Transvaal University College, TAG. And this is where the nickname tax comes from. When you go around saying, I'm from Tekis, you are unwittingly supporting colonial names. You are not different to those who insult us when we say to them, Springbok represent a symbol of apartheid. That's why we don't support the name Springbok, not rugby. Rugby we support. Rugby is our sport, but Springbok name is not our name. It's a name that represents apartheid. Distem is a song that was sang when they were killing our people in Flat Plus. When our brothers, our fathers were being tortured, locked in shacks in Flat Plus, the Boers will go and make a braai outside the shack where our freedom fighters are kept. And when they get drunk, they will sing this time. You are in pain, you are being tortured, and the people who are torturing you sing this time. And then after that, you are told that you must sing a song that was sang when you were being tortured. It is unfair on the survivors of apartheid. We can never ask the Jews to sing the songs of Hitler. But why are we being asked to sing the song of apartheid? This time is not Afrikaans. When we say we don't want this time, it doesn't mean we don't want Afrikaans. Afrikaans is our language. We can compose another song or another version in Afrikaans, but that song should represent what we stand for. Comrades, the children of white people in this university and in the former white schools, they can't sing Nkosi Sikelel Africa. Yet these children were born after 1994. They were taught this song from crèche until where they are now. They still can't sing it properly. They still can't pronounce the words properly. But when it comes to the part of this stem, the black people sing along with them and sing beautifully. To an extent that black people will even make you a joke of this university if you can't sing this stem, as if this stem is something to be proud of. Comrades, white people don't know our names. They can't pronounce our names. They can't pronounce our surnames. They don't know how the township looks like. There are a lot of white people, including your lecturers here, who have never been to a township because they don't see the black life as a life worth celebrating. So we must start being ourselves and challenging it. This city represents the center of apartheid. And DA had hijacked this city and wanted to continue with apartheid in this Tswane. We refused them. And Obakeng, leading his own battalion, they removed a golden boy of a white racist who was a mayor here in Tswane. We removed him because these people were not taking services to Soshanguve or Mabopane or Mamelodi or Amanskrad or Adrochville because they took all the resources and channeled them in the white suburbs. There is no suburb here in Pretoria where you will not find a roadside. Every road has got marks, it has got a very clear direction with very limited potholes. Where we come from, we don't speak about potholes because there is no tar road. Comrades, we must never allow the DA to come and govern Tswane again in our lifetime because they use Tswane to want to spread their racism into the whole of South Africa. I heard John Steenhuisen today say he can school us. How can we be schooled by Matriculant? A person who has not been to school. We must first school himself before we can school anyone. Fighters, DA is the most corrupt organization because racism is corruption, and we must never allow them to continue their racism in Tswane. DA here in Tswane gave 14 million to a company called Urecon, and that company was not properly awarded that tender. They gave a 12 billion tender to a company called Lab Africa. 12 billion in 2019 under the DA. The rainfall wastewater treatment contract of 295 million was awarded here in Pretoria by DA, yet the project has never taken off. The money is gone. It is the DA here in Tswane that reported irregular expenditure of 10 billion in the 2022-2023. But those things are not being said because corruption committed by white people is not corruption, it's called mismanagement. I'm telling you about Tswane because what you did here by winning the SRC elections, you are actually telling the country what needs to happen in 2026. It starts now, and it starts here at the liberated zone of UP, and it will spread all over South Africa. In 2026, when the EFF takes over, everybody must know that it was the UP Student Command that led the road to victory in 2026. You know, these Afrikaners here want to pretend like they are intellectuals. But how can intellectuals be threatened by protest? When a person protests, you arrest them. When people campaign freely in a university where it must be the highest stage of democracy, you victimize them. When people say we demand free education, you victimize them. When people say we are asking for a proper accommodation, you attack them. You send security guards to attack innocent students. When people say decolonize the education and change the curriculum, they are treated like they are criminals. If you go into the picket lines here in UP, you are declared a criminal, yet you are exercising your democratic right protected by the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa. After they denied you a right to protest, they come and say the EFF is an anti-constitution organization. But yet themselves have got no respect for the Constitution. University is not a place of intellectual cowards. If you are an intellectual coward, you must never come to the university. At the university, it's a realm of the intelligentsia. It's a realm of people who engage and engage robustly. And if you don't want to engage, you must never come to this university. Continue with farming in your farm. Because if you want to come here and dictate to us the same way you dictate your workers in your farm, you will never win at the university. So fighters, you must never be scared. You must never be demoralized. You must lead by example. You must be the most disciplined students, especially those who are in the SRC. You must be like those MMCs of the EFF in Ikuruleni who run clean budget and deliver services to our people. You must be like those MMCs of the EFF in Johannesburg and deliver safety and health to our people. You must make sure that you are not accused of any corruption as a student, because the EFF is not a university of corruption. You can't be accused of corruption at this early age. Those who lead the SRC and in the student command, it must be put in the Constitution that those who lead the SRC, part of the requirement must be academic performance. If they don't perform, they must never be allowed to lead. Fighters, don't convert this university into permanent residence. This is not your home. There is someone who's coming